use, right? Okay, now the two notes which I would like to explain, one is on the union and rank. Okay. For the union, I have this analytical view. I can't use this. Mhm. Okay, I have this analytical view. Okay. So this is without attribute view. Okay, this is my analytical view, which is just giving me sales data. So what I'm doing, I'm just creating a new calculation view. Union, I want it as cube, graphical is fine. So let's take a projection of this analytical view. And I want this to be filtered on certain region. So this projection will give you only my EMEA region, okay? I want one more projection which will give me, let's say, data for Asia Pacific. AP, J. Assume like this, you might have different different set of source object. Each one is giving for different region. I just want to unify all the regions, or it could be on year wise or region wise, whatever it is, and I would like to unify all these results. I'll take one more projection. Same article view. Let's say here, you remember others, EMEA, APJ, and what? EMER, what was it? EMEA, AMER. Okay. So I got three projections. Each one is giving different year, and I just different region. I just want to unify all the results first. Connect all this to the union. So can union take multiple inputs, more than two? Now then, once you combine all of them to the union, just you got control the union properties here. This is how it is. Like you see in the region. Okay. I've not selected the columns in the output. is my definite, see, structure of all the projections are same, but only thing is content is different. I can say auto map like this. So which will automatically get the mapping. See, it takes, now you have region. Now region is getting mapped from what? Region of projection 1, region of projection 2, region of projection. You can get this map. Or what you can do is you can also remove all mappings. Remove target columns. Or what you can do is you can just select all this and say right click, add to the target. You can also add it like this. In that case, you'll have to map it explicitly one by one, region to what? Region, city to city like this. Then what happens? This region way is nothing but the value from projection 1 and projection 2. You can do it one by one like this, or a static, if you say like this, it automatically takes all the target fields and also mapping is done automatically. And then once the union, I just want to connect the results of the union to this aggregation. All these are attributes, add to output. Measures, I'll say add as what? Aggregate columns because of this unit and add to output. And that's it, active. Like this, the scenario could be, we have, let's say there is one data source giving data for 2012, 13, 14, different years, and then we want to combine the result, then I can use union. Or multiple regions, when you work with scalability and you divide the data based on the region wise or year wise, at a later point of time you want to combine those results, then I use union. This is how we use union. Okay. And if you see the data, you will see data for all the three regions now. EMEA, Asia Pacific and EMEA. Okay, boss. This is like using union, boss. Next, I would like to show you about ranking. I have this analytical view. Basically, if you see the company name and say gross amount, if I say start descending, now these are the ones of the top 5. You see 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So these are the top 5 because I've done sorting based on what? Descending order. And once it is sorted on the descending order, I just pick the first 5. That will be, you can use more than one union also, no problem. Major point is union can take multiple inputs, more than 2. Join 2 inputs, projection, aggregation, and ranking, single input. So this is how the ranking is, okay. But now what I want is, so top 5 customers are these, okay. The general top 5 will. But now what I want is country wise top 5 one or region wise. Say I select region. Now for EMEA, I've got a set of customers. Okay, now this is you got data sorted on this EMEA. Now within this EMEA, I want those top 5 customers, like ranking. You've seen about Windows functions. You have a rank function. Same window function about ranking can be achieved with calculation with the rank operation. Same. So I'll use this analytical view and get the ranking. ZCV ranking. Cube is fine. And I take the projection of this analytical view first. This is not the one. This is the one. I can use anything you want. I'm just using this which is available. I'll say country or region. Region, I want country, I want, and then I want what? Gross amount. That's okay, nothing else. Okay. Then I'll take rank. Can just, because in projection you can just project what columns you want. Then I'll take the rank node and then connect the output of this projection to this rank. Now in the ranking, I'm just going to control all this. So I calls in the company name, but not country. So just select all the three, add output. Okay. Now here you're going to control the ranking properties. See, the ranking operation can be used to get bottom or top, either ways. Okay. So if you want to get the top, we'll say descending order, then that will be top. If you say ascending, then you'll get what? Bottom. So here it says sort direction is a descending top. Descending would be for top, and if it's ascending, you would get what? Bottom. So I want the top, so I'll go with descending. Okay. Threshold is like fixed. How many do you want? You want top 5 or you want top 3? What do you want? I want to say top top 3. Okay. See, you sort the value based on descending order. Then first 3 will be the top 3. But which value do you would like to do sort? You like to do sorting on the descending based on what was gross amount. The order by what is it? So it does do sorting based on gross amount in the descending order and picks the top 3, which is top. Now, you want the overall top 3 or you want top 3 for every region? You remember Windows function? Over partition by, remember? You partition the data, then execute your function on it. So I would like to partition the data for each region. For each region, I want top 3. So here I'll say partition by which one? Region. Okay, boss? And connect the results of this rank here and then attributes as at output, key figure at as aggregate column. That's it. Propose. You said top 3, so if you run this, అంటే ఆఫ్రికాలో ఉండేది ఒకడే ఉన్నట్టున్నాడు బట్ ఇఫ్ లుక్ అట్ ఏఎంఈఆర్ యూ గెట్ టు సీ వాట్ టాప్ 3 customers. EMEA you get to see top 3 customers. For each region you get to see 3. But if there ఒకడే ఉంటే ఒకడే వస్తుంది. Clear? Okay. Now the point is generally we would require to make it dynamic. It's not that you're fixing it to top 3. I want to make it dynamic. 5 or 5 or 2. I can make it dynamic by using input parameter. See, whenever you want to make the definition of the view dynamic, it is input parameter. After the view definition is done, you would like to do a filtering, then it is variable. So now, are you parameterizing the view? Ante view execute ayitadu parameter pass chesi dani batti execute ayitadu kavadu niki. You top 3 kaakunda ippudu 5 pampiste 5 execute kavali, 4 pampiste 4. You just trying to pass some parameters to that view. Then it is input parameter. What I'll do? Can I create input parameter here? Here or any node level, you can select this input parameter, right click and say what new IP top direct. That's just I will say that is an what integer la direct ante just this text box. Okay, ikkada ranking దగ్గరికి వెళ్ళిపో instead of saying what is this top 3 fix బదులు yes input per ఏంది IP top అంతే. So can you make this dynamic now? Now ఇప్పుడు నేను ఓన్లీ టాప్ 2 ఇస్తే 2 వస్తారు అన్నమాట. ఒక్కో ఈఎంఏకి ఇప్పుడు ఎస్ఐపి లేదు చూడ బికాస్ వి సెట్ టాప్ 2. ఇప్పుడు 3 కొడితే ఎస్ఐపి ఓకే బాస్. Like this you can also make it entire definition of the view can be made dynamic by using parameterization. You can use parameterization with parameters. So I think now pretty much you should be able to do graphical views. You know about using all the operators and you should be able to build your logic. Next, let's focus on scripting. How do we write script based calculation? Okay. First, let's take a simple example and so I have a table called address. There are a lot of columns. I just want to implement calculation view scripting based, which will basically read data from this table and give it to nothing else. And that I'm not reading everything. I'm just reading address ID, city, country, and what region. These 4 columns I would like to read from this table and give it. So if it is normal calculation, what you do, it's a projection of this table. You just select some columns. You could do that with graphical also. Yes or no? Same thing I would like to implement SQL now. So ZCV SQL 01. Standard is fine. What is it? Calculation type would be scripting based. Here you says case sensitive total variable declaring case sensitive. Yes, okay. So this is how it is. Now when you go scripting based calculation, you only have 2 nodes. One is script view, semantics in the scenarios. As part of script view, you basically write all your logic by using SQL script. You start implementing your logic of your view, and then ultimately, what are the data you would like to return out? You'll assign it to this variable called table called var. This is a temporary table. So ultimately, logic in that you write all your logic, and what are the data you want to return it out? You will assign it to this temporary table called var underscore out. Logic అంతా రాసి ఏదైతే నువ్వు వ్యూ నుంచి రిజల్ట్ ఇవ్వాలనుకున్నా ఆ రిజల్ట్ అంతటిని var underscore out లోకి వేస్తే అయిపోద్ది. But the question now is, what is the structure of this var underscore out? It's a temporary table, so it's like iTab. So the iTab should have some structure, should have some column definitions. Where is it declared? Here. You see this folder columns. What are the columns you declare it here? Will be the structure, will be these columns used to define the structure of this output table. You can create columns A, B, C, D. What does it mean? There are going to be 4 columns in this table. One is of length 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. In the logic, what does this mean? I have script-based calculation where my return table is var underscore out with structure with 4 columns: A column, B column, C column, and D column. ఈ అవుట్పుట్ బ్లాక్ లో కాలమ్స్ ఫోల్డర్ లో ఏవైతే కాలమ్స్ డిక్లేర్ చేసావో those columns will be used to declare the structure of this output table called var underscore out. So once the structure has been defined, you will start writing your logic to assign the data to assign the result towards this table, temporary table var underscore out as the concept. Okay, boss? And if you want to make this view dynamic, I can still use what? Input. Means I want to take some input from the users and I would like to parameterize the SQL scripting based view. I can make it by using input param. Clear? Okay. What is our requirement was? You wanted to read those 4 columns: address ID, city, region, and country from this table and return out from this view. So you by default you'll have temporary table called what? Var underscore out. Now what should be structure of this table var underscore out? The 4 columns what you wanted written out, right? So I'll say what I'll do. Right click and so what? Create columns. You can manually define your columns if you want. You can say column name, date, type, and length, all this. Okay. Or if you're not sure on the date type and length, I can also import those column definitions from a different table or whatever it is. So what I'll say, no manual column type disable import anta where they going to import just from where do you want to import? I want to import from a table. ఇప్పుడు ఈ టేబుల్ ఉన్న కాలమ్స్ అనేది చూపిస్తాను. ఇప్పుడు ఈ కాలం ఇది ఏం కావాలో సెలెక్ట్ చేసుకుంటా ఆటోమేటిక్గా ఆ టేబుల్లో ఎలాగైతే కాలమ్స్ ఉన్నాయో అదే డెఫినేషన్ తో నాకు కూడా క్రియేట్ అయ్యింది. ఇట్లా ఇంపోర్ట్ చేసేబుల్ నేను అడ్రస్ ఐడి nvarchar 10 c అట్లా టైప్ చేసేబుల్ ఐఎమ్ జస్ట్ ఇంపోర్టింగ్ దోస్ కాలమ్ డెఫినేషన్స్ ఫ్రమ్ డిఫరెంట్ టేబుల్ స్ట్రక్చర్స్. ఇది Clear? Now what is my out written table? Variant. It's a temporary table only. And what is structure of the table? With these four columns. Okay. Now you have to remove this dot indicates you can write your code and what it is. Now you got to remove this and start writing your code. What is it? Ultimately, what read data from this table and assign it to this. So I tab is equal to so and so. Can I write? Select start with whenever you putting data in temporary table, the structure must match because we don't have into corresponding fields later. So you got to handle it like ADDRESS address ID, comma, then what? I want to read city, comma, then country, region, from the table. Which table is this? That's it. You repeat the code you end up and last it should end with semicolon. Every SQL statement will end with the semicolon. That's it. See in the view properties it says what is the data category? Q. If it is Q, at least it expects one key figure. So I'll make sure I'm not having key. I'll make sure I'll set that as what? Blank. When I say blank, key is what the live. Okay. I can set this as key if you want and then activate. If you see the content, what does it show me? What is this column name? Address ID, it shows me addresses ID, city, country, region. Let's say I actually wanted to have this column name is not country, countries and girls. What do I do? So because what are the output you're seeing? That is actually the structure of this table variance crowd. So I would like to edit the column definition of I would like to edit the column definition of this table variance crowd countries TRIES. Then what happens? That's countries. You get an error. You just try to see. It says attribute name countries different from attribute name country. So you're reading country from the table, but you're actually supposed to fill country. So system doesn't know the data what it is reading for the column country should be put in which column in my temporary table. So what I would do, what are the column I'm reading as country? I would have to rename it as country so that it knows which column it has to put it to. I say what as now if I try to see the content, you get to see the column name is content. The column name వేరే ఉన్నప్పుడు as వాడుకు నువ్వు బేసిక్ ఇంటూ కరస్పాండింగ్ ఫీల్డ్స్ అనే కాన్సెప్ట్ నువ్వు యాజ్ తో ఇక్కడ ఇంప్లిమెంట్ చేస్తావు. ఓకే బాస్. Now simple, you're just giving me all this data, right? EMER and I just want to take input from the user region. Our region batti నాకు data రావాలి. So what I'll do, can I go with input dynamic? Okay. First it's petti where region is equal to EME and అప్పుడు ఏమవుతుంది? It's a string, right? I'll put in single quotes. In the column got double quotes, okay? Yeah, this is a select. What will happen now? You get to see only the regions of EMEA and EMEA. Now, did I fix this logic? I don't fix it. I just want to make this region has to be dynamic. In torque, ni query okay kada. అక్కడ నాకు డైనమిక్ ఇంతవరకు బాగానే ఉంది కదా. సెలెక్ట్ సో అండ్ సో ఫ్రమ్ వేర్ బికాస్ సిన్స్ యూ వాంట్ రీడ్ సెలెక్టివ్లీ ఫ్రమ్ ఎ టేబుల్ సో వేర్ క్లాస్ ఆ వేర్ లో రీజన్ వాల్యూ మాత్రం డైనమిక్ గా కావాలి. ఓకే విచ్ ఇస్ నథింగ్ బట్ వేర్ వాట్ ఐల్ డూ ఒక ఇన్పుట్ పారామీటర్ క్రియేట్ చేసి న్యూ ఐపీ ఆర్ఈజీ డైరెక్ట్ పెట్టుకో. ఓకే నాకు F4 ఏం వద్దులే దాన్ని. ఇఫ్ యూ వాంట్ F4 I can set it to column and then make it varchar 4 అంట. ఇక్కడ ఏమంటున్నాం, వేర్ రీజన్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు వాట్, ఫిక్స్డ్ వాల్యూ కాదు, పారామీటర్ లో ఉన్న వాల్యూ కావాలి. సో హౌ డు రెఫర్ టు వాల్యూ పేరు కోలన్ ఐపీ అండర్ స్కోర్ స్క్రిప్టింగ్ లో వేరియబుల్ లో లోపల ఉన్న వాల్యూ అంటే కోలన్ వేరియబుల్ వాల్యూ. ఇప్పుడు నా వాల్యూ జస్ట్ ఎంటర్ సమ్ ఏపీజే అంటే ఓన్లీ ఏ స్పెసిఫిక్. ఓకే, అండ్ ఇఫ్ ఐ AM year only AM. Okay, Nana, clear? Okay. Can I also implement the same with by writing C functions? But if you want to use the parameter, then it has to be select only. I can't do that with C, but only just reading I can simulate that with what var underscore out is equal to what C underscore which table their table. So first parameter would be your table name, comma, then list out but look at this, I'm going to have my so this is fine. I'm just reading this, but you remember my name of the output table is different here. So when you want to handle renaming of the columns or projecting to different thing, which C function will you use? C projection. So when you say I'll not assign this directly to var underscore out. I'll say I tab 1 something. Okay. Then now I'll say what var underscore out is equal to C underscore projection of what I tab 1 what columns do you want to project? Ikkada I'll say what as parameter 1 is temporary table, then the columns list. I should end the square bracket. And then I finish up this. Then I end with what? Semicolon. Right? Okay. Get CS controls. Atla. You might have to use multiple functions. One is C column table, C projection, and whatever we have learned about C functions also can be leveraged into this. Okay, was one more requirement. Certainly, the parameter also. Don't be declare items of no. If you're returning the table, it needs declaration. If you look at this, var underscore out was a temporary table where the data of it was being returned out. That's where I'm using this columns folder and declaring the structure of it. But whereas iTab is only used within the body of that scripting, I'm not returning the table out, so it does not need any declarations. Okay. So it was considered. I'm putting this as region. Yeah. I have an analytical view where I'm just applying this view. Simple. I have an analytical view which has got an input parameter. If I just run this, okay, I'm just getting this results. So this analytical view which has got some input parameter here, where I got to pass in and get the result. Now I would like to implement a calculation view with scripting based, where I'm going to read data from this analytical view and give me the results. Okay, Nanda? ZCV SQL 02 and what type here again? Scripting. Say finish. What is required? First this one without any input parameter. Okay. I just want to read that. AV sales reporting. Again, I'll try to import those columns. ZAV sales reporting without attribute view. దాంట్లో నుంచి నాకు సరే సిటీ కంట్రీ రీజన్ ఎక్కువ పెడితే మళ్ళీ ఎక్కువ కాన్స్ రాయాల్సి వస్తుంది. సో నాకు అంత వద్దు. కంపెనీ గ్రాస్ అమౌంట్ సాల్ ఒక క్వాంటిటీ. ఓకే సాల్ ఎక్కువ. ఓకే. So this is my output structure. So what I'll do, but remember you're trying to fire a query on this view. Okay, so first చూద్దాం మీకు ఎర్రర్ రాని. అది అనలిటికల్ వ్యూ ఓలాప్ ఇంజిన్ అగ్రిగేషన్స్ ఉంటాయి కదా. సెలెక్ట్ వాట్ ఈస్ కంపెనీ నేమ్, అంటే బేసిక్లీ యూ విల్ నాట్ రీడ్. అంటే ఈ వ్యూ లాగలేవు, అంటే ఇది రాదు. You getting what I'm saying? You cannot do select on this view, only reporting here. But if you want to select, it has to be done on what? Column view on this scheme. ZAV sales reporting 7 cubics ఇదే కదా వితౌట్ attribute view. ఇదే దిస్ వన్. అప్పుడు ఏం చేస్తున్నాను, నాకు సెలెక్ట్ రీడ్ చేయలేము. ఐఎమ్ ట్రైంగ్ టు రీడ్ ఇట్ ఆన్ ద కాలమ్ వ్యూ విచ్ వాస్ జనరేటెడ్ ఫ్రమ్ దట్ అనలిటికల్ వ్యూ. ఓకే, కన్ఫ్యూజన్ ఏం లేదు. ఇప్పుడు ఎర్రర్ కొడుతుంది చూడు. ఐ వాంట్ టు సీ దట్ ఎర్రర్ సో దట్ యు విల్ అండర్స్టాండ్ వాట్ కొట్టింది. ఇది అగ్రిగేషన్ ఇది అంటుంది. Could not derive table type for variable value score out. Feature not support, not allowed over OLAP view. Search without what is this? Without aggregation and group. See, you're trying to write a select statement on a column view which was generated from the analytical view, which is actually using OLAP engine or OLAP. Is it a OLAP catalog column view? So overlap ante whenever you refer to measure, you must always specify the aggregation function. And in a select statement, when I have an aggregation function, should that have a group by function? So you should say what? Sum of sum of amount. You would key figure. నీ ఇష్టం సమ్ కావచ్చు మిన్ మ్యాక్స్ పెట్టుకోవచ్చు బట్ దేర్ మస్ట్ బి అన్ అగ్రిగేషన్ ఫంక్షన్. అది when you reading it from OLAP catalog column you must have the aggregation and group by what అంతే. attribute name different and okay, I understand. See, ఇప్పుడు ఏమవుతుంది, now it is reading company name, sum of gross amount is a column name, but actually my table column name ఏంటి? So I'll say what as okay. Now let me just you just get the company name, gross amount, quantity. Okay, నాకు సేమ్ ఇదే రిక్వైర్మెంట్, but only thing is I just want to read from ఇది which one view, what is input parameter. Okay, same, I just want to read data from an analytical view. I just now read with an analytical view which never had any input parameter. Now I'm trying to read something on the input parameter. సో అప్పుడేమవుతుంది, దీని బదులు ఏం పడతాం, నాకు డెఫినేషన్ అంతా సేమ్ అన్న, నా కాలం నేమ్స్ వద్దులే, ఎందుకంటే అదే చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్. ఈ పాయింటే మెయిన్. వెన్ దే ఆస్క్ యూ వెన్ డు యు గో ఫర్ స్క్రిప్టింగ్ అంటే ఇదే మెయిన్ సినార్ అన్నట్టు చెప్తాను. ZCV SQL 03 scripting based, it's fine. Now I tried a scripting where I'm going to read data from this view without attribute view underscore IP, but which actually has an what input parameter. What is the name of the input parameter? IP. Again we'll declare out కానీ నాకు కాలమ్స్ మొత్తం అదే కావాలి, కంపెనీ నేమ్, గ్రాస్ అమౌంట్, నెట్ అమౌంటే కావాలి. ఇన్పుట్ ZAV this one, not this time. Okay, company name, gross amount, quantity. You can just control and then select multiple columns. In the mall select since we go to read from OLAP catalog column, you must specify aggregation function. అంటే ఓన్లీ మెజర్స్ ఉంటేనే, లేకపోతే అవసరం లేదు. As what? From what? OLAP catalog column, but this, which one is this? This is the one without attribute view IP. This OLAP undi, and this is calculation column view. So I will prefer reading from OLAP view. Anything you want, you can do that. And I told you when there is complex calculations, it generates in calculation view on top of OLAP catalog column view. Error what? ఏముంటుంది, sorry, గ్రూప్ బై క్లాస్ కూడా మనకు అది తెలుసు. ఫస్ట్ లెట్ మీ రైట్ దట్. group by ఎలా రీయడం లేదు సరే డేటా ఇవ్వకూడదు కనీసం అది వాడతాను అంటే నాకు సర్లే అంటే డిఫాల్ట్ వాల్యూ తీసుకుంటాను సర్లే యాక్చువల్లీ ఇట్ ఈస్ గివింగ్ డేటా ఫర్ ఆల్ ద రీజన్స్ ఒక రీజన్ అని కాదు నా రిక్వైర్మెంట్ ఏంటంటే డస్ దట్ వ్యూ హ్యాస్ అన్ ఇన్పుట్ పారామీటర్ బస్ ఐపీ రీజన్ కి నేను ఇక్కడ వాల్యూ తీసుకుని ఆ వాల్యూకి అక్కడ పాస్ చేయాలి సో ఆ రీజన్ ఫస్ట్ లెట్స్ పాస్ ఫిక్స్ పారామీటర్ లెటర్ రాస్తాను నార్మల్ if you're reading data from a table selectively you won't read, then I'll use what where class. But you're trying to read from a views catalog column views which has got input parameters, then I use what views with placeholder, you remember with what did I say, then you pass was placeholder dot dollar నాకెందుకు నాకు తెలియదు దీనికి ఇన్పుట్ పారామీటర్ క్యాప్స్ లో ఉన్నా కూడా ఇక్కడ లో కేసే వర్క్ అవుతుంది క్యాప్స్ ఇస్తే వర్క్ కాదు ఐ డోంట్ నో వై ఓకే రీజన్ ఏం పాస్ చేయాలి ఎంఈఏ If you're reading selectively from a database table, I would use where class. But now I'm trying to read data from a views, catalog column views, which has got input parameters. I need to pass value to those parameters, only then they can give me results. To pass in the value to the parameters what they have it, I use what? With placeholder. That's important. Chala important. This point raval next to step. Door okay na was clear? Set schema syntax error incorrect syntax yeah. Spelling mistake dollar yeah. dollar పెట్టినా కదా REGION కనీసం క్యాప్స్ లో లైన్ నెంబర్ 10 కోలన్ అంటాము create statement so and so table type underscore as component so and so incorrect syntax near so and so line number 10 and column 10 1 second. You remember that group by so and so with then placeholder with PLA CE holder dot one second where example is Sorry, boss. I'm just missing some syntax. With లేదా ఎక్కడ పారామీటర్ కదా. ఓకే, విత్ ఇప్పుడు విత్ వాళ్ళ స్మాల్ ఉండాలి. Invalid name or function. Company name. ఇట్లా క్యాలిక్యులేషన్ కాలంకి గ్రూప్ అయితేనే తప్పు. అంతే సార్, గ్రూప్ బై should be the last statement, otherwise it's all. ఇప్పుడు ఏంటి, now this should be giving me only for EMEA. What I'll do, this is dynamic చేయాలి. What I'll just create one ఇక్కడ ఇన్పుట్ అడిగి ఆ ఇన్పుట్ అడిగి పాస్ చేయాలి. IP_, ఇక్కడ REG అని పెడతా డైరెక్ట్ NVRK4. ఇక్కడ ఏంటి, instead of passing EMEA, what will I pass? Content of IP_REG. ఇది తేడా ఉంది. Save failed. Why? Set 00 SQL. It's a group by company name, and then let's activate this. Syntax near group by. Correct group by. Come after no. Oh. Okay, now this is fine. But I don't fix this value here. So what I'll do, I'll just create an input parameter IP underscore REG nvarchar and it's a 4. Instead of passing EMEA, I'll say what IP underscore REG. Now when I go to content, when I say APJ, you get to see this data. What is it? 86. Correct?
No, sir.
ఇది మన వ్యూ కరెక్ట్ పనిచేస్తుంది. ఓకే, ఇది ఓన్లీ స్పెసిఫిక్ ఇస్తుంది. REG region. Okay. Syntax here. Line number 5. Now it's getting all. Let me use second. Am I using the right one? 7 cubics reporting IP placeholder. Correction. There was a bug actually. ಏನು ನಾವು ಪ್ಯಾರಾಮೀಟರ್ ಪಾಸ್ చేయాలన్నా ప్లేస్ హోల్డర్ పెట్టి కాల్ చేయాలంతే. IP new. Let's go here. Create one input parameter IP underscore region. Let me apply that to the filter. And then IP underscore. అన్ని రీజన్స్ వస్తున్నాయి. Okay, you take this and okay, so basically what I want to show is if you're reading selected from a table, use where and then just pass value. But if you're reading data from a view which has got input parameters, you call that by using this what is placeholder. Okay, boss. Just one point. The problem was on the case sensitive, nothing else. I said true, right? That's the only point. One more point. We have something called restricted column. In analytical view, we had something that, and even in calculation view also we have restricted columns. But only difference is if you go here, where is analytical view? When I build restricted column, I can just say something. So I want gross amount where billing status equal to or not equal to whatever it is. What? I could only give fixed value. In analytical view, we cannot make restricted column dynamic. Okay, but if you go to calculation view, not used aggregation or something. You have restricted column here, right click and say new, say something and say gross amount. Billing status is simple. For example, I don't fix it, and you still have flexible of using what between good or what also. Okay, equal to. I don't fix this value equal to. Instead of fixing, can I go with input parameter? With this, can I make my restricted column also dynamic? And can I have this restriction dynamic between saying between operator? So can I go with range also? The input parameters, choose one as from, one parameter as two. Can I do that also? So in the lab, can you try practicing this so that we can discuss tomorrow? I want YTD, MTD, WTD. Okay? I want YTD sales, MTD sales, and WTD sales. Just take some company name, some region, some country or city, something. For all this, I would like to have YTD sales. You would refer to the gross amount, okay? MTD sales, WTD sales. Why do we need to use aggregate functions? Okay. We cannot use input parameter. What is already see, input parameters are local to that particular view. Once I create input parameter in one view, I can't reuse it like variables in BEX. Variables BEX are global. But here, if I just create input parameter for one view, even if I need it others, again I need to recreate the view, recreate the input parameter.
So, but for analytical view and attribute view, we use the same. We created these.
Those are also different, but I'm passing values. You get what I'm saying? If it's when I use input parameter and attribute view, and I've got the input parameter same name here, it means I'm passing with the map, but it's not global. Okay, we are passing the values.
Can you use the same with the calculation and
calculation and attribute?
And
why you want to? Because analytical view has got input parameter, right? If you getting what I'm saying, analytical view has got concept of input parameter. Now there is an analytical view with input parameter and you want to call it. Then what will you say? You'll call by saying placeholder. Getting what I'm saying? Okay. Why do we need to use aggregate? Because it is overlap column view with aggregation function is mandatory. Why do we need to use aggregate? Okay. Why do we need to? Okay. Then because it is using overlap engine, aggregation function is mandatory. Could you send today's class recording? Okay. Why do we need? Right. This is. Can you try building this view? YTD, MTD, and WTD. Here, so logically, can I think about this way? I'll create one input parameter for what? First day of year, right? One more input parameter I'll create, like say what? First day of month. What is MTD? First day of the month till date, right? I'll get one more input parameter where I'll say first day of what? Week. I'll create one more input parameter which will get me what? Current date. Okay. Then YTD sales is equal to what? Gross amount where created, you take that created date you have, right? Sales order created date. Created date is between what? Between IP1 and what? IP4. So like this, you'll build 3 restricted columns. Like this, you'll build 3 restricted columns: one for YTD, one for MTD, one for week WTD. Okay. How many input parameters I've got? 4. Okay. And every time my user runs this report, he always gets a prompt for 4. He'll get a selection screen with 4 parameters. One is first day of the year, first day of the month, first day of the week, current date. What I wanted to open it. Code. Maximum I'll give current date. అర్థమైంది క్వశ్చన్ అది మ్యాక్సిమం ఇచ్చేసి ఐ ఓన్లీ గివ్ కరెంట్ డేట్. అప్పుడు మన కరెంట్ డేట్ బట్టి మనమే ఫస్ట్ డే ఆఫ్ ది ఇయర్, ఫస్ట్ డే ఆఫ్ ది వీక్, ఫస్ట్ డే ఆఫ్ ది మంత్ కనుక్కుని దాన్ని బట్టి మనం పాస్ చేసుకోవాలి. It's more or less like BEX. I step 2. First you do this. Tomorrow we'll try to focus on that I step 2. If you can get that logic, I think most of it we can handle any complex scenarios. If graphical okay, scripting okay. Next is use interchangeable, and I need to use graphical into SQL into graphical. Vaadagalagithe complex scenarios you can use. Can you try this today? Because there's no one you cannot have input parameter with range, but I can use 2 input parameters in between operator, between IP1 and IP2. I can use like that. Can you try this today? We'll stop it and we'll continue tomorrow.